Bonjour! We have learned a lot of reflexive verbs this past week, so far all in the present tense. But often we want to talk about these things in the past tense, so we're going to learn how to do that today. First, get your notebook, get your pen, and get ready. We've got some notes to copy down, and I'm afraid they're kind of long. But this is an important thing that we need to learn, how to use reflexive verbs in the past tense. Sometimes people think that it's confusing, but actually once I explain it, you'll see it's very easy. It's really no more difficult than the past tense in general. So what you're going to do first is you're going to copy the notes on the next few slides into your notebook. I don't want you to worry about whether they make sense as you copy them. Wait until I explain them a minute after that. So I'll give you some time to copy and then I'll explain it to you how it works. So the first thing I want you to write down is the passé composé form of reflexive verbs is formed as follows. So you're going to write that across the top of your page. Okay, press pause if you need more time. I'd like you underneath that to write this formula. Subject plus reflexive pronoun plus past participle. You can put this on one line or you can put it on several lines the way I did. It's completely up to you. Pause if you need more time. The past participle is formed exactly the same way as with regular verbs. I'm going to write that down. Okay, except, you're writing this also, that in general, the past participle takes endings to agree with the subject. Don't worry if that doesn't make sense to you. I'm going to explain it in just a moment. Okay, so now that you've copied that down, let's take a look what it looks like, because it makes a lot more sense when you see it than when you just hear about how it works. So this is a little blurry, and I'm sorry about that. I'd like you to copy down the forms of je me suis lavé. So this is to wash oneself, but in the past tense. So you've got masculine forms and feminine forms. I'd like you to make a chart just like this in your notebook. Notice as you're copying that there are endings on the feminine forms. Whenever you're talking with a reflexive verb in the past tense about a female, you put an E on the past participle. Now you're saying to me, how am I going to remember to do that? Don't worry, because you're going to practice it a lot and you're going to remember. Notice also the helping verb is être. And the helping verb goes between the me and the laver. So say them after me. Je me suis lavé. I washed, right? Je me suis lavé. Next one, tu t'es lavé. Il s'est lavé. And if you're talking from the feminine side, say those after me. Je me suis lavé. Tu t'es lavé. Elle s'est lavée. Notice that extra E makes no sound difference at all. Now take a look at the plurals and look at that helping verb. The helping verb is être, right? Avoir for some verbs, être for others, être for all the reflexives. Say them after me as you copy this down. Nous nous sommes lavés. Vous vous êtes lavés. Ils se sont lavés. Elles se sont lavées. So there's a helping verb between the reflexive pronoun and the subject and the verb. So go ahead and copy that down for a moment. Okay, so you're noticing the endings. This is the big difference. You add an S to the past participle if there's more than one subject doing the action. So if it's plural, you're going to put an S. So for nous, vous, il, and elle plural, you will always have an S on the end of the past participle. Finally, take a look at the reflexive verbs in the negative past tense. The ne comes before the reflexive pronoun, right? Je ne me suis pas lavé. And the pas comes after the helping verb. Je ne me suis pas habillé. Notice there are two words between the ne and the pas now. I've always told you that there was only one word, and it was the verb, and that's true, except in this case. where it's je ne me suis pas habillé. So there are 3 things to remember when using the reflexive verbs in the past tense. Copy these down too, please. I'll read them to you, and then I'll give you some time to copy. And then you can use pause. The helping verb is the correct form of être, so you always have to use être as a helping verb. The past participle needs an ending to match the gender and number of the subject. In the negative, the ne pas goes around the reflexive pronoun and the helping verb, but the past participle goes after. So take a second to copy that down. You might want to press pause. Okay, we're going to try some together. I'm not expecting you to get these perfectly the first time. That's why we're going to do these together before you go on to your independent work. So it's a little blurry. I don't know why these are coming out blurry, but they are. I apologize for that. So the instructions say, décrivez ce que les personnes suivantes ont fait hier. Describe what the following people did yesterday. So you're just taking that verb that's listed there and you're putting it in the past tense. So let's take a look just at the answer for the first one so we can see how we did it. We have Catherine, and you can always replace that with il or elle or whatever. Whichever the subject is, you can always replace it with a pronoun. So I just made it elle because it's shorter. Elle. I have se réveiller for the verb. Now I have to use to be for my helping verb, and I know that it's Catherine est, elle est. So then I put in the reflexive pronoun and the past participle, and I have elle s'est réveillée. Let's try another one. Jean-Paul se lever, to get up, à 8h10. So I want to say he got up. Il. Instead of se lever, I now have to put the helping verb in the middle. So it says il s'est, and then lever makes a past participle exactly the way you would do it if it was just lever by itself without the se. Let's try number 3. Monsieur Poli se raser. So we have Monsieur Poli to shave. Let's try this one. Il, he, right, is a guy. S'est rasé. He shaved. Il s'est rasé. Monsieur Poli s'est rasé. I'd like you to try number 4. Don't worry about the end of the sentence. Just pay attention to Christine and se dépêcher. You now want to say she hurried. Dépêcher means to hurry. It's conjugated just like any other ER verb. Take a second to do number 4. All right, let's see what you got. Elle s'est dépêchée is the right answer, right? It should have the extra E on the end, and it's s'est for the past participle, for the reflexive pronoun and the helping verb. Elle s'est dépêchée. Let's try the next one on your own. Number 5. Madame Dumont s'habillait. Don't worry about the rest of the sentence. Just say she got dressed. Madame Dumont s'habillait. Let's see how it went. Elle s'est habillée. So we took the se, still in here, right? We used a as our helping verb. Excuse me, my dog is crawling on my computer. Stop. Elle s'est habillée. Se is the reflexive pronoun. The helping verb is a. We have to use an apostrophe to make it s'est habillée with an e on the end. Okay, I'd like you to do 6, 7, and 8 on your own. Please press pause to do them because I'm going to give you the answers in about 5 seconds. Numéro 6, elles se sont promenées. Right? Elles, se is the reflexive. Sont, helping verb. Promener, past participle with an E and an S on the end. Numéro 7, il s'est reposé. Se, reflexive pronoun. A, helping verb. Reposer, past participle of reposer. And number 8, mes sœurs, elles se sont couchées. They went to bed. Elles, se, reflexive pronoun. Sont, helping verb. Coucher, past participle with an extra E and an S. Fantastique! We are now going to go on to our individual practice. If you were confused about this, you might go back and watch again that section that we had all the notes in, and then go over these here and use them sort of as examples to make sure you really understand how it works, and then try it out on the independent work. We'll see how that goes, and we'll come back to this in a couple days. So let me say au revoir, bonne journée, à plus tard.